Who are you calling?
Etta.
For what?
I wanted to hear it. I wanted to hear from her to either tell you or me what she's actually thinking.
Yeah, I will.
At least out of the road, please.
It's fine, let's go.
Can you let Tally know I'm fine?
Mm-hmm.
Or just let her know I'll be fine.
Hey, we're good. We ended up having a long chat about a lot, so I think we're gonna skip on the shine for now, unfortunately. Yeah. If you got more, maybe, tomorrow or at some other point, I'm down to do it. It's just, we got shit going on. Okay, thank you, Tally. Bye.
Can you make sure Rue's okay?
Rue, you okay?
Some cunts just hopped in my car and they're not giving me a fucking drumstick.
Where's she at? I'm about to fucking blow a brain out.
Where you at?
Harvard's.
Is he giving you shit?
Alright, oh shit, fuck.
Is he out of the car?
Yes. Where are we going?
I don't know.
I don't even know where I'm driving to.
What are you thinking?
I need to hear what she's thinking. Because I don't want to spiral, so.
I'm trying not to. Hey,
Where we headed?
I'm down by the old tuner shop. I'm just driving.
Is Ziggy with you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alrighty.
I don't really want to socialize down at the block right now.
I'm heading down that way. Well,
Okay.
towards the tuna shop.
Okay. Nothing. I was gonna apologize, but you were just gonna yell at me if I did.
Absolutely. Nothing to apologize for. You haven't done anything wrong. Still at the tuna shop?
Yeah, I can be. I'm just around the corner. I just pulled near the water, but I'm coming out now. Those gunshots?
Mm-hmm. From across the water.
Yeah, gunshots.
What?
Merryweather guys.
Oh,
They're on Jetsam.
gunshots. I guess Merryweather or something. Weird. I'm just gonna go by the water for a minute. If you want to come with.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Having 2 seconds after first starting this car, I got in an accident. Yeah, people don't know how to drive into parking lots.
I'm gonna hop off radio for a sec. You know something crazy about this place?
Hmm.
One of my fondest memories as an officer was when I was pulled aside down here by someone by the name of Eddie Marshall. And we talked. He knew that I knew. I knew that I knew. We shared a moment. We shared a moment. Eddie knew that he was the PD's #1 suspect. The only thing that Jackie Snow ever wanted, nothing more in his career that he considers a failure, was to catch that man. Eddie made me an offer when I was a police officer. He asked that had I helped him, he would help me. He gave me an opportunity to do something that I truly loved. And all he asked in return was that I gave him a little bit of information as to where the PD was going, what the PD was doing, any insider knowledge that I would have had pass along to Eddie. Just so he could do something that he loved just as much as I knew I loved. And I told him no, but that I would make him a promise. The promise to keep his identity under wraps so I could take that to the grave. I told him I was not comfortable not sharing. Excuse me. I was not comfortable sharing with him what the PD knew. Because that's not what Eddie wanted. Eddie didn't want an advantage. Eddie wanted the adrenaline to know that he was one step ahead. But if it could come with the lack of information, it made him happy. It was exhilarating. He loved it. And that happened right down here. At the business that that man owned. I really wonder where my life would have gone if I had just said yes to him.
Hmm.
a cigarette?
Hmm. Mm-mm.
Ziggy, come here.
Hmm. I'm listening.
You don't want to spiral. You said you don't want to spiral.
I'm not yet. I'm antsy.
I know you are. Let's at least take an opportunity to figure this out before we get antsy. There's stuff on your mind, there's stuff on my mind, and there's stuff on Rue's mind. Can we at least come to some common ground before we get antsy, please? I know this is stressful.
No, because this becomes something a little different because you can sort of expect it from Richard, right? Richard's done this and been like this for a long time. As much as none of us, everybody would prefer it to be another way, and we do our best to have him see reason, it doesn't happen.
We tried
Right.
numerous times.
That is one thing. But the idea that, we hear one thing from Etta to having thoughts that, she either has purposely not told us or not had the opportunity to, is another. And if I ask her and she doesn't say that, or she doesn't...
She's part of the problem, Ziggy. She's the one that wants communication in this family. She's the one that wants a middle ground. She doesn't want this family to fall apart. She doesn't want secrets. She always said she didn't want secrets.
I'm not going to assume that she's holding them. Either she says what she thinks, and I'll be honest, if that is what she thinks, I'm going to yell at her. Or she doesn't, and either she or Kizu's lying. Neither is going to be fun, so... And I don't really see a reason for Kizu to be lying. Not yet, anyway.
She is yet to lie. Here, come here.
I'm fine.
Just take 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I'm not asking for a lot here.
I'm fine. I don't need a cigarette. I need answers.
I know. and you'll get them. You can chime in, however. You're not being held. You're just as important as the rest of us.
Giza essentially said she was talking behind your back.
And if that be true, she was.
That is not fucking fair. How hard is it to turn around and say that to your fucking face? What? I shouldn't get worked up. I don't know 100% if she said that. But how fucking hard is it to turn around and say that to your goddamn fucking face? Not to a fucking co-worker. It's not fucking fair. None of this is fucking fair on you. It's not fair on you or Ziggy. I fucking hate seeing it go on like this constantly, and I wish I could do something to help, and it's frustrating. It's fucking frustrating, so I'm just sitting here having a cigarette, just looking out the ocean.
You are doing everything that you can. Because none of this is fair. It's not fair for Ziggy. It's not fair for me. And it is especially not fair to you. I really need him to stop pacing. Ziggy, I'd really like you here to talk with everybody, please. I don't like seeing you pace. Please give it 2 minutes. Thank you. This is not fair for any of us. And if what she said was true, you would have told me. The problem I have is that I am inclined to believe Kizu, but I'm also with Ziggy. I want to hear it from her. But I don't want you to be mad. You have every right to be mad. But there's nothing more that any of us can do to approach this fork. You were doing everything that I would have ever wanted you to do. And that's to continue loving this family unconditionally. And you being
Just
here,
frustrated.
I know. I know. You have every right to be frustrated. But I don't want you to blame yourself. There is no blame here.
Just really hope that if she did say that behind your back, she is upfront about it. I really hope she is.
If she is, at least I'll have a chance to say goodbye. Ziggy, what's on your mind?
All of it.
I know. It's overwhelming. It's a lot to take in. We will get answers. We will figure out our path. And if there's one thing I will be sure of, among everything else I live for, no matter how this ends, I will still have a family to turn to. And that I can fucking promise. I know you're optimistic. I really, really know that you are optimistic. Just remember what I told both of you. I have already made up my mind. My mind was made up months ago at this point.
Hmm.
I won't speak for either of you. But if it came down to that crossroad, At least I know what side I'm on.
I don't like that that is something even being considered. I don't like how that seems like it's becoming an option, or has to become an option.
Hmm. Hmm.
Truth be told, I always knew that this would be an option.
Always.
When I was a detective and I took on my first few cases, one of my biggest falls and failures that I had was not learning the person I was investigating. In this example, they were typically serial killers. I brought you to a spot where I thought I was incapacitating and killing Jasper Saxon. Remember the trailer up in Sandy?
Mm-hmm.
And I told you that when I shot that person and we watched the tape, it was not Jasper. It was an innocent civilian who I had killed. Why I have my teardrop tattoo. I had the hardest time finding the acceptance for myself to be played so negatively by somebody who should not have been smarter than me.
Right around the corner.
I'm just walking.
I need you to stay at least where we can see you, please. I don't care. You do what you need to do. I need to see you in my sight. I'll stay on this side if that's okay. I just want to make sure I see him. When I killed that individual, I operated in what I thought was good faith. He needs to stop taking this fucking literal.
I'm fine.
I know. I don't like how you're getting further. I would really like you here for this conversation, but I know that's a lot to ask.
Mm.
When I'm just gonna backtrack. When I killed that individual, and I had a hard time finding a way to cope, I asked myself how I could let someone so sinister be one step ahead of me. Alvin, the guy who was the copycat killer, got off on the idea that the police department was always one step behind him. And he used to do whatever he could to stay one step ahead of us. His goal was to send us insane. When we apprehended Alvin, and we brought him in court, and he was sentenced to death by firing squad, I promised myself that regardless of the people in my life that I know, and regardless of the people in my life that I love or hate, I never wanted to be surprised again. I never, ever wanted to be in a situation where I was blindsided. And if I was, at least I could tell myself I prepared for it. And with my fathers, I have always tried to stay one step ahead of them. Because they consistently have blindsided me with the choices that I've made. And when the family drama started to pick up and conflict started to rise between one another, I looked in the mirror and I touched my teardrop tattoo. Because I knew that there was always an opportunity where if things didn't work out, I needed to know how to prepare for them. I never wanted this to be an outcome, and I never wanted this fork in the road to actually happen. But I always mentally prepared myself because I never wanted to be surprised by something like this. Can't do it with everybody. But I absolutely did it with them. So to answer your question on always, at least in the last few months, yeah, I always had this fear.
Sorry.
What's that?
Sorry.
You can't pull the sorry card if I can't pull the sorry card. You have nothing to be sorry for. I'm gonna be okay. And wherever we end up, and wherever this goes, it doesn't matter. We will have each other. And that I can promise you.
Good, sir.
I'd put everything I'm worth on it.
Thank you.
Nothing to thank me for. I'm just doing what's right and doing what a family needs to do. Let's go ahead and get out of here. We can go back to the block. We can go wherever.
Where does Ziggy want to go?
Hey, Ziggy.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere that you want to go in particular?
It's back to the house.
Okay. You want to follow us up?
Yeah.
No, I don't know who that is.
Who you on the phone with?
Irish flump.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm.
Let me know when you wrap up. I want to talk to you real quick while we're driving up, if possible.
Mm-hmm. Right. 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 Mm. Mm. Right. Okay. Mm. 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 I'd imagine. Sure. Okay. Yeah. All right, I appreciate it. Later. Okay, sorry.
Did you tell Sean anything?
No, not really.
I know you have a lot on your mind, and I'm sorry. I know concerns, urges, whatever it may be, to do something irrational is very fucking easy right now because I'm in the same boat.
Mm.
I'm gonna do everything in my power not to spiral.
No, she's I mean, it's fine. It's simple. Uh Either she says she didn't say it, and that's, something I'll need to ascertain between Kizu and her, and if somebody's lying, then, that's an easy decision to be made there. Or she says it outright, and she explains why she said it, or what she thinks, and we'll figure it out from there.
Do me a favor. I know optimism is the best course. But something that you told me, I'm going to ask that you keep for yourself. Do not let anyone push you around and know your limit.
Oh no,
It's
this is
It's the same reason I walked away.
No, yeah. I may be a bit lenient when it comes to things about myself, because I can get in my own head about things that I decide to do or I say. But I know better, especially when it comes to you two. I
I
know who
can't
you
wait
two
for
are.
this.
Who's that?
I don't fucking know. Hello?
Hello, Flop. Quick question. You work at the mechanic shop, right?
I do.
Uh, would you want to start flipping in large bulks, lockpicks for the shop?
That would be up to Finley Milton to decide.
Okay. Do you need any lockpicks?
I don't right now, no. I appreciate it.
Okay. Would you just let him know that Chris King called and said willing to do large bulk prices if they wanted to flip them at your shop
Sure.
for lockpicks?
Sure.
Appreciate you.
That works.
Thank you.
Not a problem. You take care,
Yeah.
fucker.
Like I was saying, there's some things that I question myself about, things I say or do, whatever. But as far as you two go, I'm very sure about how I feel, and there are things that I know to be objectively true, um, and for people that I also care about to potentially um have just disrespected that. Uh, I do my best to see it from all perspectives, and I know their perspective. And for that notion to even be put out there uh, is beyond me. So, remember a while back, uh, we had a talk up there on the porch. Rhodes had said that it's easy for him to cut people off who lie to him or whatever.
Like a light switch.
Sure. His boundaries, he holds firm on, and they're very upfront. Whereas mine, you know, I'm a little more, you know, like I said, I try to see it from all angles. But knowing those angles and then still having that's my line. You two are my line. Either when it comes to disrespect, being hurt, physically, verbally, whatever. Yeah. So, I'm curious to hear what will be said.
Without a doubt. What I said before I meant. As for what we have, this is not going anywhere.
Hmm.
As for what Etta said, if that be true, at least I'll have a chance to say goodbye.
Hmm. Yeah. Hmm.
And as for Richard, I don't think I'm going to speak with him. I don't think it's in my best interest right now.
That's understandable.
Is Sherry affiliated with any groups?
I don't know.
Marshals.
And besides
No.
them?
You good?
I might tweet something just to stir the fucking pot. Oh, by the way, while we stir the pot, you knew about Conan?
What about him?
He's a marshal now.
I'm going to bed.
What happened?
Um,
Pardon?
uh, a, a reasonable response to what I just said.
What did you say?
I asked if Sherry was affiliated with anybody, and he said, I don't think so, the Marshals. I said, oh, speaking of the Marshals, did you hear about Conan? He goes, what about him? I said, he's a Marshal now. Ziggy just said, I'm going to bed.
Fair enough. Kizu just called me.
Is she okay?
She's good. She got a phone number of
Good night, you two. Be safe. Don't do anything stupid. Love you both. Good night.
Hey, no.
Oh.
Hold the fuck on. No.
What?
I promise you I won't do anything stupid. Anything.
Hmm.
Can you hold that same fucking promise? Because if
Yeah,
not, then I won't. Okay.
I can.
Make that promise.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Good night.
good night.
Good night. I mean, you're so dumb.
Kizu just given me Paul's number.
Whose number?
Pull it.
If they calling me.